Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to Captain of Industry. Episode 1 and then it vanished. Don't worry, there was a very good reason for that, which I did actually share on the Discord and in the comments of the previous episode down below after I was informed. But Captain of Industry didn't get part 2 until now, entirely due to bad timing. There's that little truck just down there, dropping off some lumber. You can probably see part of the reason why. But yeah, basically, shortly after part 1 came out, it was announced on Steam that there is the first big update coming out at the end of this month, last month. So I get a bit mixed up sometimes when I'm thinking about when I exactly want to release a video. So yeah, when this video goes out, it will be last month. So the 30th, just to be clear. Yes. But yeah, that's why it's held off, because generally big updates, adding lots of things like you can actually see the stuff inside your storages. Vehicles now, instead of generic red container trucks, have actual loads on them, was another change. So you saw that coming up with logs. Basically anything that goes on the conveyor, you can see stacked on the side of a warehouse and in the actual trucks themselves. Trucks carrying loose cargoes like this, they can actually be mixed now. Before they were restricted to one of a type. I don't think I have any sitting around that are actually doing that, but they can now actually accept mixed loads instead of just like getting too dirt and then going off to dump it somewhere. That kind of thing. So yes, that was that. The biggest thing though is that the update actually made it uncompatible. Wow, I'm butchering English today. Incompatible. There we go. With the previous saves, which is why I paused for a best part of 2 weeks. So I've actually come back, I've played this again to get to where we were, roughly. And so we are going to continue from here. Though one thing I will note again is they've rebalanced the trade prices slightly, so getting concrete and iron scrap is now more expensive than it used to be. It used to be about 20 across the board, as I recall, but not anymore. The map has been updated. That threw me off a little bit. The grid lines have actually been shifted around a bit, so that was fun. Also, the tree line got arranged because they also redid the generation a bit, and they actually tore out a resource deposit on this island. There used to be a limestone deposit right here that I always went to in the games where I was testing before I decided to actually start recording, and it's disappeared. So now it's just here. On the other hand, where I was dumping trash before, now there is hidden limestone way under the ground in that area, so I'm not sure what to do with that. So as a temporary measure, I'm just dumping trash over here instead, just until I decide what I want to do with it. I'll probably build this area out because like the rocks around here. I put the trade port over here because there was a nice open spot on this bit here, but not anymore. So, right. Anyway, yes. No, I'm not going to keep complaining. I am actually going to go do stuff. Right. Research. The tools disappeared from bottom left, but they are now unlockable, which is part of getting access to an early captain's office, which I confess I have never used before. So I'll grab that, then I'll go construction, I'll go beelining up towards concrete and getting retaining walls, because I want to do that. Then conveyors, yes. Conveyors. Also, we need to complete things. Iron mining completed. Dink. Stockpile of resources completed. That's the other thing. We're slightly ahead, as in I've built up stockpiles of most of my available resources right now, including a double stockpile of construction material, so we can just slam some stuff up real quick. Pause this to reduce inbound refugees. Done. That's done, thank you. Okay. I'll pause this again, because I do want the people. I was clicking on the red button thinking it would do it now. And I want to actually build this because I need more housing because there's more people coming. I think I'll also need more food. Food has been slowly declining, so we're probably going to need that sooner rather than later. Food. Build another farm. Right. So I've not progressed research. What I have done though is I've unlocked the vehicle ramps, which I mentioned before. So find them. There we go, vehicle ramps. Because I tend to go for things in this kind of game that let me plan a bit better. And so you can see that this is a big thing. It actually lets conveyors and things go underneath it. Like that, you see. This one actually lets small vehicles go underneath it as well, which I didn't realise until literally I was just thinking about it just now. So it's like, oh yeah, small trucks could actually fit under there. But yeah, I want to use this to start laying out actual production areas. So let's go ahead and I will start doing that. I think maybe I could do some more. No, that's still okay for maintenance. Okay, let's roll on. Oh, I won't bother showing this, I was thinking. It's just a little thing I was thinking. It's just like really quick to do, and then it's like, no. Someday I'll learn. Someday I'll learn that I actually tend to overbuild stuff quite a lot, but yeah, well, this is quote-unquote temporary. So there's not going to be anything interesting here, not at all. Not at all. Right, so I mentioned last time how bricks don't seem to have much use, really. I don't know if that's changed in this one, but that's why I'm kind of doing it like this, like plug it all in. Oh yeah, that's one thing that's happened as well in the update. I almost forgot. Now pipes can actually go vertically like that instead of having to be on a slope, which is, I think, quite nice. Just very quickly and easily just slot it in. Yep, just like that. Very efficient, very temporary. Just a nice, quick and easy thing to produce. So, of course, got to get that stuff done. Beacons tripped, all that stuff. So, moving on. I've started to lay out here. I've got started to do an update for my maintenance, because the maintenance runs on electronics and mechanical parts. Mechanical parts are going to be here, electronic parts are going to be here. I've run smack into my blast furnace, so I'm going to want to shift that pretty soon. Must admit, yes. But again, quote-unquote temporary, and then I leave the stuff in. There's also the fact that there are upgrades to this stuff that requires different resources later on, so it's like, part of me doesn't want to optimize it, but part of me knows I'll have to optimize it to make it better, and then it's just like rebuild it later. So, such is the nature of this kind of game, sadly. Oh yeah, you are going to be holding dirt, because we need dirt for bricks. Just for the time being, because we need it. Anyway, moving on. The next thing I want to do is I want to actually get oil sourced out. This spot shifted as well. I think it was like over here before, so it's a bit closer. And I'm going to start tapping that into making rubber and distilling it into fuel, which I'll then use for a primary power source as well. I was slightly confused there for a moment. I was wondering if they'd actually rejigged that or not, but no, they didn't say they were editing that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and slap all this down. So I want wastewater, I want fuel. I was clicking the right buttons. Sorry, you can tell it's been a couple of weeks. That one there, that one there. Right. Exhaust. 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 I am Mark III. You are rambling again. Come on. I just like playing around with this stuff. That's what you do in a game, isn't it? You play. Actually, no, I don't want you to be. I don't want you to be the. Yeah, I'm gonna be silly and rejig that. There we go. I'll build another fluid storage next to that. This one is going to be wastewater. Empty if you hit that, because I'm not wanting to dump too much. I hope to be able to recycle so I can reduce the health penalties and stuff, but we're going to have to dump some, and there's actually a quest to dump some, so I'll set the oh so important liquid discharge pipe over here, just finding somewhere convenient to put it. Again, temporary, kind of, except wastewater. And that'll discharge lovely, lovely, polluted, rank, disgusting wastewater into the ocean next to my dock. I'm sure it'll be fine. Now we just need to feed this one, so 54. Yeah. That's 3 of these. And the other thing I need is the rubber maker, of course, which also produces wastewater. Actually, I should have it like that, yes. I think, yeah, this is part what I enjoy about this kind of thing. Also, I am Mark 3. You are not doing things very well, are you? You have coal. Just frantically trying to hurry up and doing a bad job of it. You will bring in fuel from here. I'm connecting it before the storage because I want the output to split into here when it produces the rubber, and this store to go untouched, really. I'm also considering I can plug a second thing into that without any trouble. Give me a second. Behold the tangle. Yes, I have. I'm doing a lot better than I was a few days ago. Let's put it that way, even though I probably sound like I'm going completely off my rocker. Again, wouldn't be too far from the truth. Right, I have got 6 pumps rigged into a pair of basic distillers. I think I need to, I need to tell you to use coal and fuel to make rubber. There we go. Okay, wastewater stashed here. If they get too much, it will start dumping. Fuel tank here, which feeds into diesel. I'm going to scrap that diesel over there. This is going to be basically my primary power source right now, and then backup power source after a little bit, once I get something better. And then this one here is where vehicles can pick up fresh fuel. Notice it's all fed, so the backup power supply has an independent pipe. Vehicles can't actually pull from it. And the output from these refineries gets sent between these 3 points basically equally, so 1/3 fuel can go into there. Just trying to not overdo the draw on it, which I know is very helpful. Also prioritise that so I can get people out of being homeless. Thank you. Right. There's all the dirt I've dug up so far. Not where I want it, but I want it to do all that. So just while this stuff is getting built up, let's go on to the comments, because I do want to share. I mean, it's I don't think he's commented on my videos before. I think he's new to the channel. He found the first part of this series, Captive Industry. So, Peter Knutson, welcome to the channel. You were very actively commenting on part 1. Thank you for what you shared. Some of it I didn't know, and you were actually the first one to inform me of the update as well. So yes. The first comment. You want gaps 3 tiles wide so your vehicles can pass through. Gaps 1 to 2 wide are just inefficient waste of space, but 3 is enough for type 1 and 2 vehicles. Don't know about the huge tier 3s, but yeah, I believe tier 3s might need up to a 6. I mean, these things go up to a 6. I actually thought 2s were enough for tier 1s. At least in my testing games, 2 gaps wide was enough for tier 1s. But you're right, future-proofing a little bit would be a good idea, so I'm trying to do that a little bit with how I've been laying it out. Why are you guys not doing stuff? What am I out on? I've got the parts. What's wrong? There shouldn't be anything wrong. They should. Oh, I know what it is. I didn't release the parts. There we go. Yeah, I was actively pulling parts out of these so they could keep churning away. But there we go. Also, I need to prioritize this stuff. No, that's an upgrade tool. But yeah, it's kind of daft to me. It's like, you got all these parts. Why aren't they doing stuff? Oh, because you didn't release them from the storage. There you go, guys. Come on, build the stuff. Thank you. Look at that. I do think they look better with the flatbeds than with the original storage containers. So the storage containers is probably a good idea for some stuff. Hopefully they'll use that for later on, for at least 1 or 2 good types. But that said, being able to visually see it is also part of the appeal of it. So yeah. Some coal guys coming through. Good. I also queued up an extra excavator here. And I actually want that one built as well. And that's because I want to dig this area up. I'm going to turn this into a bigger industrial zone. So this will also be my current source of dirt, at least for the time being. Okay, right. Moving on. Next comment. Dumping grey stuff first and then covering your tops with dirt is quite slow, but give a pretty looking result once the grass starts growing. To be honest, that wasn't what I was planning when I was dumping waste over here. I was planning to make an industrial zone, and because I don't know how to pave, I don't know if the game allows you to do any kind of paving or anything like that. I hope it does, but I've never found any option for it when I was searching the tech tree. Was dig a layer down, build out the land with waste, and then dump a layer of slag, because it's a nice dark paved kind of look to it. And I was going to use that as like for freight and power and oil refining and all that stuff over there. That was my plan, but with the shift of deposit, of course, I'm thinking of doing that into this area here instead now. But we're holding on that for at least the moment, and just, as I said, temporary dumping waste there for the moment. You're not out of materials already, are you? You are out of materials already. Ugh. Well, that kind of sucks. I'm going to need to trade in for some more bricks. I was trying to avoid doing that. Look at that, already high. I'll take 2 at 25, sure. That'll do, yeah. Right, sorry. Peter's comment continues. However, it's usually a good idea to initially dump to create ramps to the higher plateaus and only start creating new land after you have the ramps you need. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I was also thinking I generate a steady waste stream anyway, so I'll dump there for temporarily, pause that when I want to build the thing, and then come back later. Because I wanted to wait until I had like retaining walls until doing that. Just because the height on these, yes, it can be adjusted, but on default it's higher than the retaining wall can go. So, oh, that's something new as well. There weren't trees here previously, and this is where I built the test ramp. Like the 2 times I actually did that. I don't want it over here next to this deposit though, that's the thing. I will tell the tree cutter to get some of these trees down, please. Just that bit there. As soon as it gets done with this area here. I hope we can reforest, that would be nice, but this game is somewhat realistic, so growing new trees is probably not going to work. Anyway, let's go. Captain's office. Got ourselves a captain's office. I've never used one of these. I've never built one of these. 60 materials. I mean, I stockpiled nearly 400 construction materials, and you saw how fast all that went. So yeah, it goes real quick. Anyway, moving on. There was one more comment. And this is the one Peter gave me a heads up. Devs are releasing a new version at the end of the month, which will break old save files. So that's that one. Did point out I'm able to use Steam to reverse back to the previous save. I actually did that to grab a screenshot of my previous progress and then rebuilt up basically the same way. No compatible excavator. Really? Oh, I never assigned the thing. There we go. So I reverted, got screenshot, came back, built it out. And that's resulted in where we are now. So that said, earlier Captain's Office was to get access to blueprints, but I've not played this game enough to actually have any blueprints. And I've not got any setups that I'm happy enough with to have wanted to make a blueprint in the first place anyway, so... As a new player, this series is actually trying to learn this game a bit. So, thank you very much for the feedback. It's very helpful. You've taught me some stuff, and also gave me that very nice heads up. Because honestly, I probably have skipped over the planned update thing and recorded a few more episodes since part 1 and now, and then had a lot more to do when the saves got broken. So, yeah. You saved me from that one, so thank you. Oh good, you're digging a hole. Oh no, I need another truck. Come on, feed the dirt. We got things to do. Alright, it's a bit rough, a bit ugly, but because I got distracted, I actually let my iron processing stop. And because of the increased price, I don't want to keep relying on that exporting wood. So, construction office is going to be in charge of mining copper ore, but for now, it's actually got control of my slag dumping spot. Just because I don't want to muck around with these. Like this one's got dirt, this one's got stone, this one's doing waste down here. So that kind of stuff, but hey, we get more parts processing iron ore because we've actually dumped that slag. And as you can see, it's like this kind of greyish, asphalty kind of look to it, and that's kind of why I wanted to use it as like paving for a bit industrial zone. But there we go. Also brick production because we've already got that set up. So as soon as we got the mission, it cleared water, connected to a brick, and produced bricks. We produced 72 bricks so far, apparently. I wonder if it counts the bricks we've traded for, because there's no way I've actually manufactured that many. So this is also why I don't want to rely on brick production as well. Look, it takes like 34 per minute. No, sorry, 21 a minute. And that only gives you 12 bricks, so it's like, not good. Collect that one. Build and connect an oil pump. That's the second oil pump just going up there now. We've already got fuel. Got that. Got the log cutters over there. We've also scrapped that one. Geez, construction 2. Captain's office. So, we can now build our tier 2s, which we need for making conveyor belts and things, which we'll get from here on, which is electronics plus construction parts, which means we need electronic processing to step up. But for that, well, we need rubber and copper. So that's why we need the copper. We also need more excavators. Don't think we need more trucks though. I think we've got enough spare trucks rolling around that we're okay. So maybe I think I'll build the next excavator. Actually I need 2. There we go. Just have to get that sorted out. But on the other hand though, our fuel requirements are sorted out. I'll just tell you to dump, just to clear that objective. Because objectives are good, gives us things. Come on. Now you'll see how beautiful this is. Yes. Working in harmony with Mother Nature. Sploosh. And you wonder why polluting the local area causes health issues. So you're already losing a bit of health from air, and landfill's not doing any. Well, it probably will at some point. Anyway, diesel, brick and parts, stockpile diesel, which we've already got because of the storage tank, gives us some cement, nice. Produce vehicle parts. So this is how out of order I've been doing it. I've been making vehicle parts as part of my stockpile build-up. I mean, look, I've got a warehouse half full of the stuff. But that's like extra copper, extra parts. And now it wants us to actually do the copper production and repair the shipyard, which I do hope to do as part of this one. So, repairing the shipyard just takes a whole load of construction parts, again. So, we kind of need those materials, and that's part of why I was saying last time scaling up production of this stuff is pretty important early on. It makes things a lot easier if you can keep it fed. We are basically done with retaining walls right now, and I've noticed something interesting. Something that wasn't there before is a stacker dumps material from conveyor belts directly onto terrain, which means that we could use like retaining wall based dumping stockpiles as part of our industrial process, because that is how, in the real world, materials do get used. Like, they literally get dumped in a massive heap in a designated area, and then loaders come and scoop them up again when they're needed for something else. So that's interesting. I'm going to add that to the queue. Not sure what I'll do with it, but I will. I'm working on conveyor belts right now. But I was mentioning earlier about hoping we could do trees. Something else new in the update here. Forestry. Tree planters, tree saplings, fir and spruce trees. So we can actually do that now. Because that's also a new tech that wasn't there previously. Need crop rotation and irrigated farms, but sure, that's fine. Also, I should probably queue up vegetable farming as well. Actually, give me a fuel station first. Yes. Edicts. Growth pause. Eviction. 4% of the population will have to pack their things and leave the island. Oh. Okay, didn't know that one. But yeah, I've been looking a bit more at the boosts as well. Like, if the edicts don't cost anything. Oh, okay, here we go. Some edicts provide you with benefits, but may cost you monthly unity. Other edicts can generate monthly unity, but these typically require to provide something in return. So, unity is okay. Don't really want to spend more of it, so I'm not sure. But I still haven't built a captain's office, but still. This one is digging its holes quite happily. In fact, it's run out of places to hole, so just continue working along this edge. Something else that I've noticed is it's not just the deposits got rejigged a little bit. There's also hills and things now, bumpy terrain. I forgot to mention this area, that's why I wasn't turning this into it, because there's like a bunch of hills here now. If I look like that, yeah. But also, this flat area here, I used to put my coppers over here. There's a whole load more trees, and there's hills here too. So, that's usually where I put my copper production kind of thing. Instead, I've got that slowly being worked on down here. Bit at a time, bit at a time. In fact, you know what, I will tell you to release your lumber stockpile as well for that. Actually, don't empty, just don't demand. Send it out. Also got going on here is an adjusted iron production area, which I will very quickly do and prioritize and stuff like that, so that will get sorted out. So I can actually go ahead and scrap this one. Remember, I can use shift to delete the entire section of them. That'll free up some materials immediately, and more importantly, give me space, because I want to get start doing actual construction material, large-scale production here. That's why I've kind of jammed this in here, right next to the citizens, where they'll appreciate all the belching smoke from the smelters. I'm sure that'll be fine. No problem at all. No problem at all. I care for my people. Yes. Anyway, moving on. The other thing, of course, is retaining walls, which will let me actually start doing the needed slopes. Now, let's actually get a quick look at this thing here. Oh, good, you are in the right area. Excellent. Actually, can you prioritize not those? Those? Thank you. Right, retaining walls. There we go. Now, the tutorials I saw on this when I was first looking into this game. As I recall, because the digging area is like 4 across, it said like have it in the middle because it's designed to be in the middle. Where is it? That's the corner. So you can see here. So that's like that. Then small ones on either side. Pause it so they don't build this, but it's meant to be something like that. But the thing is, that actually leaves a little slope inside if you fill it up with material, which I'm not quite fond of, if I'm going to be entirely honest with you. So what I've decided to do instead, just to be quote-unquote different and or difficult, or something like that, is I want to actually have... I'm going to build it one in, you know? Just so that it's closer in on that. And I think this is where I'm going to have to go as well, so I'm just trying to work this out. Give me a second, just work something up here real quick. Yeah, something like that will do, I guess. A little bit of minor decoration at the end there. Just need to fill in these little gaps here with the shorter. It'd be nice if there was like a single individual one rather than a long one. Like a halfway point between the short and longs, because the long is clearly made up of 2 segments, which I would kind of like to have. But anyway, yeah, this is as high up as it goes. So go into here, maybe dig out a bit of stone on this central bit here, just to pack a bit more waste in. And then this entire bit here will be filled up, and I know I could probably have gone like across like that and then down that way. But the central thoroughfare kind of thing is up here. So that's where I want it to go. And there's also the fact that, as I said, this is a bit too tall, so widen it out, fill it in, then retaining wall goes on top there to bring it up to the next ground level. And that's basically how it's going to wind up going. Though, of course, I also want to get this done sooner rather than later. Wish there was a mass prioritize tool. There probably is, I just haven't found it. But prioritize, get these lower ones up first, and then I can actually start dumping waste into this area as well to fill it up to my liking. Also got to wait for that tree to go away too. Need to get rid of that tree that's right in the middle there, so that that last retaining wall can go in. But this is why I've been stockpiling concrete, really. Admittedly, this will be replaced with, well, I say replaced. It's got 2 trucks, that's fine. This is going to be a permanent fixture, so I'm going to try and pave it and all that stuff myself. But the importing of concrete will be replaced by local production as soon as we manage to gather and muster the materials for it, basically. Which means more control towers, more industrial buildings, all that good stuff. Yes. Okay, just that. You're another high priority one. Then we, of course, need to mess around with this because this is the control tower in this area. So for the moment, remove dirt dumping, that's still going into brick production. And you will dump waste instead. I need to get rid of the dump command over there because I don't want waste there. This one will stop dumping waste, and in fact, let's cancel some of this dirt digging going on here. And I will start to dig up this waste pile that I've already put in place here. Because, as a temporary stockpile, because I didn't ditch it in the ocean, I can actually start to dig it up again. Just to move it to where I actually want it now that the place where I want it, it actually exists. And that's going to be between these buildings here. Just have to wait for the actual things to get built up a little bit. Farm cannot store all potatoes. That's good. That means I have plenty of potatoes. Also, I don't have enough trucks. Give me 25. Sure. Look at them go. Waste for everyone. Good job, guys. You're doing me proud. Most excellent. But on that note, with our mountain of waste getting higher and higher, it is time to end. I wish they didn't clip through the corner of the buildings like that quite so much, but I'll probably put barriers or something around the bottom of this later, assuming that stops them from doing that. But yeah, we have gone very far, but it's time to end it, as I need to reassign some trees elsewhere. Dig out these guys because I'll need this area for the pits for mining coal later. Then there's all the limestone over here as well. I don't know how important that deep stuff is going to be, if I'm going to be entirely honest with you, but it wasn't there before, and that concerns me a bit about it. So I'll just designate that entire area for deforestation next. That'll do, yep. We've almost made it to the second area, but not quite. Anyway, yeah, this has been IMAX3. As I said, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps out the channel. Gives me those virtual head pats I oh so crave. And we'll continue learning this game next time. And next time we'll actually start getting some of this main production area up, because next time we will have tier 2 components which have just started production a little bit over here. Basically when they've got spare capacity. Some of these are working on tier 2s. But not in any big kind of quantity yet, really. We're still struggling for our tier 1s though, that's the main issue. But yeah, we'll continue to figure out this game as we go. But until next time, see you all later. I will get all this transplanted. At some point. Ooh, stackers. We actually got that stacker tech. Oh, that goes up pretty high, even with the word go. Nice. Oh, you can't raise it. I do like the look of that thing though.